Jai Gurudev, dear students. Children, we have already started lesson number 11, body movements. And in the last class, I have explained you about the vertebrates, invertebrates, and we have already studied about movement in cockroaches and movement in snail. I have explained you in detail that how the insects like cockroaches they move and what kind of organs help them for movement. And in snail also, snails are very slow kind of organisms, and how the snails move with the help of their sticky, slimy and muscular foot. Okay, so children, today let's start the next topic of today's class, that is movement in earthworm. So children, earthworm is also a kind of organism which are coming under the lower category of organisms, and they are also invertebrates, means earthworms, snails, and you have studied about cockroaches. They all are coming under the category of invertebrates, means they don't have backbone in their body. Okay, so let's see how they move. Let's read this paragraph. Earthworm is a tube-shaped, segmented worm. Earthworms lack backbones, and earthworm's body is divided into small parts called segments. Okay, so children, in this diagram I want to show you that here they have shown this the body of earthworms, and its body is divided into parts, small parts. You can see these parts. So these parts are called segments. This is a single part. Okay, so children, in this way, actually this diagram is given for the muscular movement, means this diagram shows the various muscles. That's why it is a very elaborated diagram. Actually earthworm is not looking like this. When you see naturally earthworm, they are also segmented, but they are not looking like these dumbbell shaped bodies. Okay, here they have magnified the diagram so that they can show you clearly about the various parts or muscles. You know all about this earthworm because these are very common kind of organisms which we can see during the rainy season. Okay, so in the other seasons also, when we dig out any wet soil from the garden or from the forest area or any places where there is a wet soil, when you dig it out, at that time you can see the earthworms because they are generally live under the ground, means inside the soil, in a deep soil where soil has water in it or it is moist. Okay, so children, let's see what is written here. Its body is divided into small parts which are called segments. I have shown you segments here. These are the segments, means lines are there which are dividing its body into various parts. So these segments also have tiny bristles that help earthworm pull the body forward by gripping the surface. So children, here they have shown that in their body these segments have bristles, means hair like structures, which are very minute and not easily visible. You can't see in the earthworm's body, but when we see these all the kind of structures under the dissecting microscope, which is a simple kind of microscope, under that microscope we can see their bristles. Okay, so these hairy structures which are present here below the segments, these hairy structures are called bristles. And what is the function of these bristles? These bristles help the earthworms for movement. Okay, how the earthworm can move, that we are going to study here. We are studying about the movement of earthworm. So these structures we are studying which are related with the movements. So here they are showing that with the help of these bristles, earthworm can pull their body forward, because with the help of these bristles they can make a grip with the surface where they are moving. Okay, means on the soil they can make grip with the help of these hair like structures which are called bristles. So let's read the next sentence what they written. Earthworms alternatively contract muscles from these segments, causing a wave of thinning and thickening of the front end and partly pulling of the rear end forward. The movement of an earthworm can be compared to a spring. Okay children, so here what they are trying to explain, I want to show you through the diagram. Yes children, you can see here in the diagram that when earthworms move, they show thinning and thickening of their body. Like here also they have shown that this part is thickened, okay, and this part is thinner. So what is this kind of movement? When earthworm starts moving, some part of its body which is present forward, means mouth part, like here this is a mouth and head of the, we can say head of the earthworm, and head muscles which are present in their head portion, they becomes active, or we can say they start movement as a longitudinal muscles. In the earthworm's body, two kind of muscles are there children. One is the longitudinal muscles which are present longitudinally, means like this they are present in their body. Okay, you can see here. Okay, these are the longitudinal muscles, and when longitudinal muscles they contract or they become active, that time earthworm's body is thickened, means उसकी बॉडी वहाँ से थिक हो जाती है जब longitudinal muscles contended होते हैं. Contended means they start working, and when these circular muscles which are present circularly, okay, means in the circular way they are present inside their body, and these circular muscles when they remain active, at that time they make their body thinner. Okay children, So with the help of these two kind of muscles, earthworm can move properly. So one more thing is there, that we can say that earthworms move with the help of three things. Okay, what are the three things? First, we have studied about the bristles. I have told you that bristles, which are hairy structures present underside of their skin, and with the help of these bristles, they also take help in movement. And second thing is, with the help of two kind of muscles, which are longitudinal muscles and circular muscles, means they are alternatively they contract and relax. When longitudinal muscles contract, at that time circular muscles relax, and when circular muscles contract, at that time longitudinal muscles relax. Okay, so by the contraction and relaxation of these two kind of muscles, these earthworms can move efficiently. Okay, and what are the third thing? Means what is the third thing? That is mentioned in the last sentence. A slimy substance is secreted by the earthworm which helps in movement. Slimy substance means sticky kind of substance and watery kind of fluid, and that also secreted from the earthworm's body. That's why earthworms can comes out during the rainy season only, because water is present and earthworm can't move on the dry surface. Okay, they also secrete a slimy or sticky substance from their body so that they can make on the slippery surface, because this slimy substance can make the surface slippery, so that with the help of these muscles, when it pushes its body fluid towards forward, at that time this slimy substance also help to slip their body forward. Okay, so children, in this way all the three things, bristles, muscles, and as well as slimy substance, that three things, they help in the movement of earthworms. Okay children, about these two kind of muscles, they have not mentioned anywhere in this paragraph, but they have given in this diagram, so you should know about this also. Okay, if question arises that what helps in the movement of earthworms, or what kind of different things which help in the movement of earthworms, so you should write about these three things. First is bristles, second are the two kind of muscles, and third is a slimy substance. Okay, so this is children about the earthworm's movement, and its movement is we can study with the help of a spring. As a spring can move, as the spring can show contraction and relaxation, in the same way its body also shows contraction and relaxation. You can see the longitudinal muscles, they remain active, at that time their body contracts, मीन्स इसके जो सेगमेंट्स होते हैं वो ऐसे इकट्ठे हो जाते हैं. ओके, एंड इट शोज थिकनिंग. एंड व्हेन सर्कुलर मसल्स, they remain active, they do their work, at that time these parts, these segments, they become stretched. Okay, and their body becomes thinner from that side. So thickening after thinning, again thickening, then thinning. In this way, thinning can make their movement possible. Or we can say in another words that contraction, here you can see this part is contracted, their segments are contracted. So contraction, then relaxation, again contraction, then relaxation makes the movement possible efficiently. Okay children, so this is all about the movement in case of earthworms. So up till now we have studied about the movements in case of invertebrates, because children, in the last class also, we have studied about two invertebrates, means movement in two invertebrates like cockroaches and movement in snails. These are also the two category of animals which are coming under invertebrates, because they don't have backbone. Okay, but after these three animals, means including earthworm also, after these invertebrates, now let's start the movement in case of vertebrates. Means now we will study in those organisms which have backbone in their body. Okay, so this first is movement in birds. Birds are also coming in the category of vertebrates. Okay, so let's read. Body of the birds is streamlined in shape. Children, first of all, you should know the meaning of streamlined, because bird's body is streamlined. And not only birds, many animals have such kind of body shape. So streamlined body is a body which is thinner from the front and back but broader from the center. Okay, means we can say that a body which is thick from the middle but tapering from the both ends. Means front and back are thinner but middle portion of the body is thickened. And in case of fishes also, we will study about this streamlined body, because fish also has streamlined body. You can see fish, that is fish mouth is also have tapering and tail also tapering, but from the middle it is thicker. Okay, so that kind of body is called streamlined body or streamlined shape, which makes easier for them to move while in air. Children, air has so much pressure, which is called air pressure. So whenever anything moves, air stops that organism or that thing to move. So in the air, when birds move or birds fly, at that time this body shape, which is called streamlined, this body shape helps the birds to move easier, because streamlined body can cancel the effect of air pressure, or we can say reduce the friction of air. Okay, so that's why birds can easily move in the air. They fly with the help of their wings. Children, birds have these wings. So with the help of their wings, only birds can fly. Powerful muscles in their chest aid in flapping of wings during the flight. So that these wings, they join to their body with the help of muscles. Okay, so their muscles are also very strong, and by the movement of their muscles also, when wings move, at that time muscles also start moving, and with the help of muscles as well as wings, they can move or they can fly easily in the air. So birds have light and hollow bones, making them lightweight. Children, all the birds have hollow bones or light bones. Yeah, naturally, if anything is hollow, that becomes light. So, what is hollow? Hollow means इनकी जो बोन्स होती हैं वो अंदर से खाली होती हैं. Like our bones are not hollow bones, or other animals' bones are not hollow. Our bones have bone marrow inside it. Means that material which is a heavy material, and our bones are filled with the these kind of cells, or we can say that material which is present inside our bones. Our bones are not hollow, but जो बर्ड्स होते हैं, बर्ड्स की जो बोन्स होती हैं वो अंदर से खाली होती हैं. ओके, सो दैट इज कॉल्ड हॉलो बोन्स, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ हॉलो बोन्स दे आर लाइट इन वेट. ओके, बिकॉज दे हैव टू फ्लाई, एंड when they take flight, at that time these hollow bones also help their body to make them light, so that because of light weight they can easily take a flight. Okay, or they can easily fly. Claws of birds help them to walk and perch. Children, claws, here they have not shown claws clearly, but इनके जो पंजे होते हैं उनको हम बोलते हैं claws of birds. Okay, so claws of birds, they help them to walk. You know, when they are on the ground, or birds when they sit on the branches of the tree also, they can perch. This word is written perch. So perch means to hold the branches of the trees. Okay, so their claws help them to hold the branches of the trees, as well as they help them to walk also. Means their claws have two functions: to walk and to help them to perch, means to hold the branches of the trees, so that it can easily sit on any branch of the tree. Most of the birds can fly. Birds are also capable of walking, running, or hopping on the ground. Insert the picture of a bird flying and one of a bird perched on a tree. So children, here they have shown two kind of pictures. One is this bird is flying in the air. Okay, so here also you can see the different activity, flying activity of a bird, and here you can see these are the very small kind of branches, dry branches of any tree, and here this bird, how it perches here, means how it sits by holding this branch with the help of their claws. Okay, so birds, you know that most of the birds can fly, but some of the birds you can heard an example that they can't fly. Okay, like penguin or other birds also, very few are there, but they are exceptions in case of birds which can't fly. but other than all the birds, they can fly, or they can only they are not flying, but they can also running, hopping means jump karna, okay, jump karke chalna, just like that kangaroo hops, okay, on the ground. So children, these are the different kind of movements. Means we can say that birds can walk, they can run, they can hop, and also they can fly with the help of their wings, okay. And you know, all the birds have feathers all over their body, and feathers are also very lightweight. They are hairy structures, but they are very light in weight, and they also help the birds to make their body uh, lightweight, so that they can easily fly. So these are the various kinds of movements in case of birds we can see, okay. So children, birds are also very common animals. You can see all around you when birds are flying and they walk, or they when they perch on the branches of trees, that time also you can see all these things which we have read in this paragraph, okay. So today we have started this movement in case of birds, or we can say movement in case of vertebrates. So here you can see in this paragraph, or under these birds category, we have studied about the role of bones also. Means with the help of bones and with the help of powerful muscles, they can move, okay, they can fly. So here we are studying about the skeletal system. Means skeletal system comes here, or backbone is also present in case of birds, which help them to move, okay. So children, that's why they are coming under the category of vertebrates. Understood? So today we have studied about the movement in case of earthworms. That also you read it again, and if you not understood anything, you rewind the video again and see what I have explained in this paragraph. And also you study about the movement in case of birds. And then also, if you have any query, you can ask me during the doubt session, okay. You are most welcome. You can text me your problem, and also you can call me during the doubt session, okay. So children, in the next class we will study about the movement of different other organisms which are coming under the category of vertebrates, okay. So for today class I have completed this much. In the next class we will start next topic. So Jai Gurudev.